I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away and the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. Then in that one moment in time, I will feel eternity. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I bid you a fond welcome to the 35th commencement exercise of the North Penn High School. We all know that to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to speak and a time to listen. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. These words have a particular meaning for us tonight, for this is a time for joyful celebration on this sad but very happy occasion. And this is a time for quiet reflection and respect for others. This is a time for listening and applause, for celebration and quiet, also quiet reflection. Let's be sure that as we continue with this evening's commencement exercise, that we keep these times separate. Respect, please. Respect the seriousness of the occasion as well as the happiness of this class. For each of these 696 students of the class of 1990 is important, and we want each of the 696 students to be recognized for how important they are this evening. A couple of announcements, if you will, please. Because only the press and the Aardvark studio, who will be taking individual pictures of each of our graduates this evening, are permitted on the field, we have arranged to put on cable 16, channel 16 tomorrow, beginning at 8 o'clock, the video of the senior prom, the video of senior reflections night, and also the video of this night's festivities. I would encourage you to tune to channel 16 beginning at 8 o'clock for first, the senior prom video, second, reflections, third, this evening's festivities. The class of 1990 looks fantastic, do they not? On your program, please add that Mrs. Pat Davis, President of the School Board for the North Penn School District, will give congratulatory remarks following the student speaker, Beverly Schwartz, and I certainly do apologize for omitting her name from the program. Dr. Donald Venema, Director of Secondary Education and the Invocation. Dr. Venema.
At this time, we ask for a moment of silence as we think about the importance of this event. It is appropriate that we give thanks for this class and for this glorious evening. It is important that we approach this ceremony in the spirit of thanksgiving. We have so much for which we are thankful. For this special school, these fine students, their dedicated teachers and administrators. We look to the future of these graduates with great optimism. We all know that these students hold great promise for our future. For each member of the class of 90, we wish good health, much happiness, and a bright tomorrow.
Good evening and congratulations to the class of 1990. Tonight you face the joy of a new beginning a lifetime of achievement, a lifetime of hope, a lifetime of growing, a lifetime of knowing that it was all worth it. You go out tonight armed with the finest tools that you could possibly have. An education that has prepared you for whatever career you choose to follow. This has been made possible through the dedication of a school district of dedicated professionals, interested and caring school board members, and finally, the sacrifice and commitment of your parents. You owe much to many people here tonight, but we all know that you are worthy of that pledge. We know that you will go forth and give honor not only to North Penn, but to your families and to yourselves, and that's what really counts. We stand here tonight and congratulate you on this first important achievement of your life. It will be the first of many for all of you, I am sure. Take the gifts that are yours and take them forward and make of them something special that the world needs from you. You alone have something very special to offer the world, no matter where you're going, no matter who you will be with. You are special, and you have something special to offer. Do not hold back on those gifts. Be generous with them, and let the world know that it was a better place because you were a part of it. Move over, world. The class of 1990 is coming on board. Congratulations.
I've thought a long time about what I would say tonight. I wanted to find the perfect words that would tie together the years we've spent with each other. I searched through poems and stories, but I could not find the appropriate words that could summarize all the feelings we've shared together as the class of 1990. How many of you are aware that when we first stepped into the high school in 1987, we had a reputation which fell short of the expected standards? A reputation that said we would be a difficult class to manage because we were such a diverse group of individuals. As a sophomore, when I heard this rumor, I was offended. How dare anyone think, let alone say, that the class of 1990 could be difficult? Now, with the wisdom of hindsight, I am proud our uniqueness was recognized. We may have been difficult, but we certainly will remain special. And it is this specialness that took North Penn by storm. As sophomores, we started out by winning Powder Puff. As juniors, we developed some of the finest athletic, musical, artistic, and academic talents in the history of North Penn High School. As seniors with these talents, the awards, both as teams and as individuals, rolled in one after another. Finally, we topped it off with a great prom and a very special reflections night. Not many classes have reached our collective record of excellence in such a wide range of endeavors. We have experienced so many accomplishments in the past, but tonight is our biggest accomplishment ever. Tonight is our night, seniors. This is our one moment in time. This is the night we will all say goodbye to North Penn and hello to the world. Tomorrow begins the rest of our lives, which will spread into the 21st century. We will be the leaders of a new decade. Always remember to believe in yourself, and you will fulfill any dream you ever yearn to accomplish. I wish each and every one of you good luck in the many years to come, and a lifetime that will be enriched with happiness and health. administrators. The class of 1990 is happy to share our graduation, our own very special one moment in time with you. There's a lot to think about here as we graduate. It's a time for looking forward, but also a time when we can't help looking back. Remember 13 years ago, walking into our first day of kindergarten? The chairs and the tables weren't big like the ones at home. They were miniature, made for people just your size. Remember the big yellow tag you had to wear those first few days with your bus number on it, so that some very tall person would know where to lead you after school? Remember how you felt when you took out your fat crayons and drew your answer to this question: what will you be when you grow up? What did you draw? A fireman? An astronaut? A movie star? Or were you confused, like me? Did your dreams change daily? Was all that you knew that someday, somehow, you were going to be something big, important? Well, someday looks like it's here. And for this one moment, we have a little of that kindergarten confidence back. Now our challenge is keeping it, never letting it go. Believing that on this clean page in front of us, we can draw whatever we want. Taking the idealism, the strength, the optimism that is coloring this one moment in time and making it last a lifetime. Class of 1990 can do this. In history, it's been people who dared to dream the impossible who created real, lasting change. People like Martin Luther King, who led this country down the road to civil rights. Or Lech Walesa, the Polish dock worker who is leading his nation into the 21st century. As a class, we have a very special potential to make our own seemingly impossible dreams into reality. Why, some people may ask. Every class graduates with dreams. What makes this one so special? Take a look at the world scene surrounding this graduation. In its high school years, the class of 90 has seen dictators overthrown in Eastern Europe and a curtain of iron melt into a river of friendship. We have watched Chinese students not much older than ourselves call world attention to government-inflicted injustice in their lives. We have seen the beginning of an immense change for the better in South Africa with the ending of apartheid. We have looked on as people around the world joined hands to pledge a commitment to something we all share: the environment. Our one moment in time is a very special one. What other class has had such a positive, hopeful commencement? Here at North Penn, we've been a part of some monumental events as well. The Marching Knights carried off their 8th state title in 10 years this fall. We came together as a school to congratulate 2 state champion swim teams. We looked on in amazement as members of our class helped to put on one of the most professional and exciting theater productions in North Penn history. As a class, we backed our class and student government leaders as they put together a solid argument in favor of an outdoor graduation. There is something different about the class of 90. We believe in ourselves and our tomorrow. Adults are often telling us to be mature, to be practical, to grow up. There's nothing wrong with that, because as a class, we realize that being practical doesn't mean relinquishing dreams that others might call impossible. Would the Chinese students have done that? Or the North of our world. We can do it. We are the class of 1990. 1990. It seems like only yesterday when we were sitting in front of our living room TVs, smiling at Ernie and Bert, laughing at Grover's silly jokes, and learning to count to 10 in Spanish. Kermit taught us that it's not easy being green, and as we grew up, we came to find out for ourselves that it's not easy being any color really. But it was Kermit's voice once again which harmonized a song about rainbows. When learning our letters and numbers in kindergarten, we already had one step up, as we remembered the generous sponsors of Sesame Street, the letter K, and the number 3. I dedicate this speech to an extraordinary man and a personal inspiration. I dedicate this speech to an exceptional teacher who had all of us as students. Jim Henson, because of your exceptional commitment to youth and education, I dedicate this speech to you. Every experience encompasses a finite moment, but the learning from that experience is not limited by time. Each day, we experience 86,400 seconds. Once in a while, a few of them combine to create a single moment which remains long after the seconds themselves have passed. I can still remember a childhood experience which taught me about the importance of letting go, which involved the finding of a little frog. It happened on the way back from the Blackwoods Campground Visitor Center in Bar Harbor, Maine. He jumped out from the bushes only inches from my dirty sneakers. The sun reflected off his greenish skin and sparkled in his dark eyes. With the curiosity of an 8-year-old, I sat down on that dirt path, being sure not to scare him. Slowly, I cupped my hands around his cool, rubbery body. I held him against my sweatshirt, curling up the bottom to make a kangaroo pouch, and I gave him a careful hug. Being absolutely sure that frogs ate grass, I hadn't had biology yet. I yanked out a couple of handfuls, and I made him lunch. As he could probably guess, he didn't eat it, but I told him I loved him anyway, and how he would fit perfectly in the pilot seat of my Barbie dream plane back home. My little frog went everywhere with me that day. As the sun descended behind the trees, I was cradling my frog with one hand and clutching the iron links of the campground swing with the other. My dad called to me from our campsite. He told me it was time to say goodbye. I can still remember his words. "He lives here, Bev. He wouldn't be happy in Lansdale. I know it's hard, but you should be happy you got to meet him at all. He was yours for a day. It's time to say goodbye." Well, needless to say, adult logic did nothing to stop the tears which immediately began to stream down my cheeks, and I tried hard to swallow the lump in my throat. Reluctantly, I went back to the trail, kicked away a bunch of stones to clear a place to sit, and uncurled my sweatshirt. Bending over, I kissed my little frog as one of my tears trickled off his bumpy head into the gravel. He jumped onto the path, and for a second, he just sat there. Finally, he jumped away into the same bushes, which seemed to have been his home earlier that morning. We loaded up the station wagon, and on the ride home, playing auto bingo with my sister just didn't seem to be as much fun. A decade later, I can see the significance of my experience. That summer day, I was sure I had all the answers. I could provide my frog with all he needed: grass, water, and a safe place inside my sweatshirt. He would be happy with me, and I would take good care of him. 10 years later, looking back, I know that life isn't that easy. First of all, frogs eat flies, not grass. But more importantly, my frog taught me that although leaving special moments behind is remember that the experience alone is ours to keep. For if uprooted, most flowers don't survive. North Penn High School has been our garden. In classes, sporting events, and club activities, our teachers, coaches, and advisors have always been willing to show us a new experience. To say, here's my flower, learn and grow from what it teaches you. Now the time has come to walk away. Class of 1990, tonight the garden door is unlatched for us. Moving on, we let go of sports teams and clubs, of first period gyms, and space rides in the planetarium. The teachers and friends wondering if all those promises in our yearbooks to keep in touch will ever become real. Soon we'll be scattered across the country, attending college or starting careers, and most of what we experience here at North Penn will be history. A few special memories, however, will survive both time and distance. If you don't believe me, I'll show you a pebble I still have from a special place in Bar Harbor. When I picked it up off the trail, I thought it would be all I would have left to remind me of a little frog I had known for only a day. I've come to learn that experiences can be just as tangible as pebbles. That vivid memory of a little green frog still has a magical way of coming into focus on long car rides with my family. I think back to my trip to Bar Harbor when I had no idea that I was about to experience a single moment in time which would not only provide the focus of my graduation speech, but would also stay with me forever. A single moment which was so distinct and so exceptional. A single moment which had the power to transcend the laws of time and travel with me into the future. I realize now that tonight is one such moment, and we are all sharing it together. As I was with my frog, tonight we are all blessed with an experience that will soon become a beautiful, lasting memory. I challenge all of you to hold on to that memory with both hands, for we have received one of life's greatest and most valuable treasures. Class of 1990, thank you and good luck.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of School Directors, I welcome parents, family, friends, and staff. Most of all, I extend warm congratulations to the North Penn class of 1990. Tonight you are celebrating a major success in your life, and we are all very proud of your accomplishments. From here, you will each choose new paths and begin the next phase of your life. Your years here at North Penn will become but one moment in your past, a part of your life that will hopefully bring you many cherished memories. As you begin your exciting journey into the future, you will face many challenges and choices. I urge you to recognize every opportunity which arises and to seize it, whether it be opportunity for success, love, fulfillment, or giving. Do not let the risk of failure or rejection stop you from striving and taking advantage of those chances which you should not let pass you by. I recently had the opportunity to hear Julius Erving speak at the University of Pennsylvania, and he said something which I would like to pass on to you tonight. He said, "There is no comparison between that which could be lost by not succeeding and that which is lost by not trying." Think about that as you move on in your life, and do not let the fear of risk, the fear of failure, the fear of change, or the fear of growth stop you from striving, from trying, and from taking the chance to become your very best. We all know that your finest day is yet unknown, and only by seizing the moment will you realize that day. Our wish for each of you tonight is that you will recognize your opportunities and have the courage and the wisdom to seize your moments. Thank you and the best of luck.
commend all of the speakers that have spoken to this point, particularly student speakers who did such a fine job. But at this time, I would like the class of 1990 to show everyone how you feel about yourselves. Now, if the class of 1990, I would like you to stand and face the audience, if you would. Stand and face the audience. I would like the audience to tell the class of 1990 how they feel about them. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is an outstanding group of young people, and we feel so proud, so very, very proud of them. And two of the people that we feel most proud of at North Penn High School are the two people with the highest average in the class of 1990. The first, the valedictorian, the student with the highest average in the class of 1990, is Miss Lynette Hugh. The second, the salutatorian, the person who is second in the class, is Miss Una Chatterjee. Would you please join us on stage? We have a presentation to make to Una, the salutatorian, by Mrs. Miller, assistant principal for 12th grade, and we will see that Lynette also gets hers. For this is indeed why we are in the business of education. And these two young ladies certainly do exemplify the excellence that we continue to strive for at North Penn High School. Congratulations to Una, number 2, and Lynette, number 1, out of 696 graduates this evening. At this time, I would like to introduce Mrs. Miller, who is the assistant principal for 12th grade. Mrs. Miller.
Tonight is the last time I get to stand in front of all of you. It is one moment in time that I will never forget as I look out over all of your faces. What you have given to me in the last 3 years can never be measured. Your diversity is exactly what made you so much fun to work with. Thank you for that. Congratulations to you all. I will never forget you.
At this time, we will present the diplomas. I would ask... I can't imagine why they applauded for that. We would ask in all seriousness that every student's name be heard and that all of the applause be held until 696 young people have in fact received their diplomas. With that, I'd ask Mrs. Hilt, advisor to the class, and Mr. Drissel, advisor to the class, to come forward and let's get it done.
Kelly Ray Gerber.
D. Wayne Bueller, Jr. Jeffrey M. Gingrich.
David Lee Kinsey, Jr.
Lorianne Ruth Morris.
Michael Wilkins.
Lisa Renee Foxwell.
Frank R. Arcara.
Greg Treble.
Jeremy E. Diem.
Marcy Jean Strodmuller.
Christopher J. Brady.
Rebecca Jolyn Rittenhouse.
David G. DeRosa.
Chad Ronald Miller.
John C. Hartman.
Brian S. Atwood.
Christopher Bursick.
Lonnie S. Stevel.
Douglas R. Pastor.
Kimberly Lynn Suhar.
Tracy Lynn Howard.
Dawn Olivia Peterson.
Richard F. Walker.
Jeffrey W. Alsop.
Jean Ann Schrader.
Karen Lee Muller.
Matthew Scott Klein.
Rochelle Leanne Haslam.
Christopher Ottinger.
Nicole Collette Hill.
Michael Richard Gullett.
Allison Leslie Marshall.
Mark Emilio Bonanni.
Judd Adam Sirota.
Jason Daniel Driscoll.
Beverly Schwartz.
Una Shua Chatterjee.
Beth Nan Barone.
Matthew C. Stigler.
Nancy Ann Norton.
Amy Elizabeth Double.
Diane Unju Moon.
David Thomas Disbrow.
Colleen Kelly Mangone.
Gina Lynn Rose.
Kip Michael Cole.
Christopher Paul Schmitz.
Kip Charles Harwick.
Pamela Ann Mears.
Allison Elizabeth Cooper.
Robert W. Rainey III.
Donna Diane Wiley.
Greer J. McFadden.
Christine Marjoram.
Edward S. Groff.
Rosemary Honora Smithson.
Christian B. Mason. Get it right?
Kimberly Ann Kennedy.
Robin Michelle Williams.
Melissa Leanne McGee.
Joella Gail Ellingwood.
Amy Cassandra Robinson.
Jonathan Lefferts.
Bhakti Pettigara.
Tricia Lee Lucas.
Amy Melissa Sessions.
Lisa Marie Flozak.
Karina Lee Stetcher.
Robert John Price.
Nevada Strencon.
Christopher Stanley.
Lee Kim.
Francis Amadeo Giordani.
Jay Bay.
Robert Brian Harrison.
Jung Lee.
David George.
Sung Roo.
Stephen Burns.
Jean Marie Suplee.
Thomas Gavin.
Christina May Pico.
Andrew Merritt.
Un Young Lee.
Lawrence O'Toole.
Elizabeth Un-hee Kim.
Hollis David Preby.
Arlene Inez Poole.
Adam Affair.
Michael Racinko.
Kelly Marie Kopp.
Amy Lynn Terry.
Julie Lynn Dyke.
Sandra K. Hahn.
Scott W. Ford.
Kyung H. Kim.
Robert Bradley Feaster.
Hannah P. Kim.
Jacqueline K. O'Connor.
Susan Wan.
John Robert McCauley.
Suk Hyung Kim.
Jody Lynn Rittenhouse.
Eric D. Cassell.
Stephanie Nicole Miller.
Scott A. Starkin.
Shauna Lee Eileen Neal.
George L. Risco.
Catalina Aresa.
Jeffrey James Kincaid.
Paulina Terho.
Kevin Laub.
Ferdinando Loyacono.
Gerald Winters.
Sharon Harlev.
Brett Keene.
Margaret Lee Edelman.
Scott Parker Stinson.
Sicchio.
Christopher Summers.
Jacqueline Marie Kelly.
Joseph Heyer.
Richard Bryan.
Leah Ann Gavala.
J. Matthew Root.
Jennifer Lee Michener.
Tim McRae.
J. W. Schneider.
Matthew Scott Shafty.
Jennifer Dietrich McCurry.
Peter Eric Hartley.
Jeremy R. Dean.
Brian Anthony Warren.
William R. Kazin.
Michael Henry Lauro II.
Robert Freed.
Martin M. Gillen IV.
Jennifer Hanlon.
Michael Lee Jackson.
Chad Russell Vanderslice.
Jorge Hammerman.
Carolyn Elizabeth Hahn.
Tina Louise Urso.
Daniel Paul Dunnigan.
Michelle Emma Anger.
Michelle Williamson.
Jennifer Suzanne Spachowski.
Kristen Marie Downey.
Carolyn Rita Benasuti.
Anthony Matthew Waltrick III.
Derek John Crayenhagen.
Michelle Turner.
Adam M. Dunning.
Jill Judith Chapin.
Darren L. Daly.
Justine Marie Gibbons.
Joseph Alexander Garcia.
Joseph Jones.
Robert William Mawson.
Tracy Ann Phillips.
John K. Grenane.
Mark Adam Dippendorfer.
Nicole Lee Knappenberger.
Deborah Renee Feeler.
Lori Elizabeth Jones.
Frederick L. Smith.
Abby Ray Carter.
Susan Jean Irwin.
William J. Randolph III.
Michael G. Snyder.
Christopher Joseph Wiggins.
Rebecca Lee Bogle.
Claudia Alice Roberts.
Douglas Reed.
Bradford McMahon.
Laura Christina Beal.
Susan Cleese.
Richard Coulter.
John Thomas Hartman.
Leah Janelle Strizzi.
Tracy Sue Lancaster.
Anthony Gabriel Tatey, Jr.
Amy Christine Williams.
April Lynn Galler.
Todd R. Curl.
Thomas L. Anderson III.
Robert S. Ziegler.
Anat Veneer.
Scott Allen Zischang.
Kevin Pasak.
Frank David Johnston.
Kelly Ann Ingram.
Sean Bishop.
David Richard Smith.
Cheng Ma.
Thomas Anthony Michael Shiloh. Shiloh.
Jeffrey Robert Barney. Barrett, excuse me.
Jan Magnus Warngren.
Robert Kerber.
Russell Thomas Vincent.
Brian Patrick Foley.
Craig Lawrence Root.
Bryant Shue.
Richard John Weber.
Yuji Kanashita.
Sheila Michelle Groff.
Michael Joseph German.
Carrie Bennett.
Joseph Todd Blaze.
Cynthia Lee Rice.
David Vinton McCourt.
Kimberly Ann Kinlaw.
Benjamin Earl Brackett.
Matthew Bruce Kaiser.
Terrence McAnally.
Michael Christopher McIntosh.
William Bruce Elliott.
Amy Suzanne Lee.
Jennifer Lynn Brunetti.
John Shag Garrity.
Kelly Shannon.
Walter James Plant.
Patricia Aaron McGovern.
E. Bradley Thackeray.
Scott Francis Herbert.
Troy Landreth Matthews.
Lori Diane Paul.
Barry Goldstein.
Kristen Elise Senich.
Terrence Keith Newman.
Sharon Lee Offenlos.
Andre Hetzeth.
Christopher Scott Marino.
Hal Nelson.
Lisa Ann Baroon.
Jeffrey C. French.
Marie Michelle Kulik.
Julie Lynn Munsell.
Sherry Lynn Bomboy.
James Barnes Gottschall Jr.
Alan Joseph Leach Jr.
Thomas Adam Rudolph. Samuel Wells.
Raymond Lee Stegmeyer.
Janine Margaret Greco.
Kevin Raymond Pope.
Christopher Scott Spencer III.
James Lewis.
Christina Marie DeMarco.
Diane Barbara Myers.
Donald Petrilli Jr.
Catherine Lynn DePaul.
Christine Cheryl Speck.
Barbara Louise Nassif.
Daniel James Schistler.
Ingrid Naranjo Torres.
Jennifer Sue Blackerby.
Christian Henry Ziegler III.
Andrew James Arnold.
Stephen Mark Rodriguez.
Chayton Druna.
Wendy Michelle Stewart.
Jiggy Varghese.
Matthew Charles Slug.
Leah Lynn Rhodes.
Kimberly Ann Richard.
Heather Emery Blake.
Jeffrey Allen Boyer.
Rebecca Ann Ritzmiller.
Christine J. Schwartz.
Christine Michelle Sten.
Scott J. Whitman.
Gina Lynn Newdorfer.
Christine Elaine Taylor.
Shane Koshi.
Michael William Paris.
Stephen Paul Weeks.
Stacy Marlinsky.
Christopher C. Johnson.
Chung Lee.
Christina Blockson.
Stephanie Sarosky.
Angela Michelle Mark.
Michael Bruex.
Michael John Cedar.
Angela Dawn Sowers.
Kara Cedar.
Matthew Patrick Bonaccio.
Carol Ann Scampton.
Sunita Venkatraman.
Amy Michelle Clark.
Brian Michael Healy.
Kirk Halakowski.
Jason Giersch.
Robert Gray.
Steve Lowe.
Andrea Pasteur.
Shani Dina Citron.
Samara Palomar.
Jennifer Lee Miller.
Amy Louise Hubner.
Jill Sutherland Huber.
Kelly Ann Mooney.
Dawn Melissa White.
Edward Anthony Arkins.
Melinda Joan Sandman.
Loretta Norbeck.
Charles Ho.
Robert Albert Moses II.
Daniel Gallagher.
Jeffrey Todd Clark.
Carrie Kohler.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the first half of class of 1990. Remembering that everyone and every name is important. Thank you.
David L. Delvecchio.
Jennifer E. Weber.
Kevin E. Gottschall.
Jarrell A. Hopkins.
Tom Tapper.
Tamara Lee Honecker.
Lucinda K. Landis.
Stephen John Thomas.
N. Ku So.
Jessica Curry Salduti.
Tracy Catherine Lemon.
Suzanne Jacqueline McCarty.
Greg Chu.
Thomas David Reedinger.
In Bong Tam.
Brian Dar Ward.
David A. Albright.
Allison Kelly McIntyre.
Stephanie Lynn Mellon.
Christina Catherine Dennis.
Molly Ann Landis.
Robert Louis Cintron.
Albert Joseph Saylor III.
Diane Lynn Payton.
Aaron Wade Elborn.
Kathleen Ann D'Amico.
Pamela Jane Underwood.
Mark Francis Folkman.
Jennifer Marie Hawk.
Victoria J. Anders.
Chad Christopher Bowman.
Catherine Coleman.
Keith Kramer.
Stephen Burns Walton.
Beryl Neer.
Jennifer Barbara Horowitz.
George Cannon.
Ryan Christopher Tony.
Robert Klunk.
Kelly Ann Young.
Kimberly Michelle Copertino.
Corey T. Luby.
John Campbell.
Kristen Marie Berger.
Nathan William Vanderwater. Mark Cordy.
Scott Anthony Voloshin.
Kim Johnson.
Brian Levitt.
Rebecca Lynn Baker.
Suzanne Pachito.
Tracy Ann Bunt.
Rebecca Ann Lane.
Jason Michael Theodore.
Jeffrey A. Smith.
Claire Marie Marino.
Jason Albert Brunner.
George H. Wicks III.
Kimberly Ann Buckman.
Sherry Love Lehman.
Joanna Lynn Dove.
Edward Michael Valentine.
Christine Ann Butera.
Karen Lynn Eustace.
Brent David Stouffer.
Larry Gerald Nelson.
Brian James Acorns.
Fong Yang Ko.
Leah Suzanne Fisher.
Matthew Wayne Newman.
Derek Alexander Pratt.
Joel David Blumberg.
Tammy Lynn Coughlin.
Dory Eileen Schwartz.
Brian David Harpel.
Albert Michael Iacoca.
Brooke Elizabeth Henderson.
Jay On.
Jason Grant Henson.
Juan J. Choi.
Karen Marie Blackshaw.
Tammy Pauline Metten.
Brian Edward Fetterman.
Stephen J. Martino.
Tristan Yancey.
Andrew T. Shannon.
Gretchen Ann Rapaski.
Joanna Lee Hurd.
Charlotte Ann Baimler.
Craig Anuzelli.
Leslie Young Kang.
Angie Mia Kaneshita.
Bradford A. Spaniel.
Jennifer Margaret Giuliano.
Karen Melissa Wireback.
Tina Grunchen.
Raphael A. Campo.
Eric Peterson.
Brett William Heineman.
Michael Jagger.
Brian Matthew Grill.
Brian Lee.
Brian Christopher Shear.
Amy Janine Ramsey.
Johnson.
Megan Lee Federoff.
Katie Lynn Cesney.
Gregory Augustine Morano.
Craig H. Moyer.
Jan Mary Cairn.
Andrea Laura Evers.
Kyle Dungan Kroberger.
Christine Lorraine Sudlow.
Kristen Gail Hines.
Stacy Lee Schwam.
Chad Wesley Shaw.
Andrea Marie Sylvester.
Joan Marie Stanbridge.
Colleen Alice Forsythe.
Bradley Vincent Moyer.
Sean Patrick Hopkins.
James Patrick Little.
Pamela Lynn Eric.
David Paul House.
Jennifer Ann Murphy.
Lawrence J. Tiblett.
Tracy Lynn Gibson.
Christopher O'Shea.
Heidi Ann Rosenberg.
Anthony Gariano.
Annette Marie Stahl.
Mira Koo.
Christine Elizabeth Townsend.
Heidi Koo.
John W. Wigner III.
George Fisher.
Michelle Lynn Alexandra Grusella.
Sanjay Mathur.
Christine Burns.
Gregory Howard Matthews.
Stephen Cashman.
Frank Edward Stone II.
Gregory Peter Piper.
W. Glenn Connell.
Amy McKenney.
Scott Glenn Stanley.
Heather Brown.
Christopher E. Ruth.
Stephanie Lynn Brown.
Martin S. Shamus.
Gregory Wright.
Jeffrey Trent Taylor Jr.
Louis Consoli.
Craig Joseph Thompson.
Dennis James Sharkey Jr.
Kathy Stiers.
Doug McCrae.
Sherry Lynn Sandstrom.
Stephen M. Weichel.
Heather Keene.
K. Scott Finger.
Glenn Oliver.
Andrew James Berry.
Susan K. Mascantonio.
Daniel Cole.
Robert Mark Landis.
Heather Lee Delciato.
Kelvin Bond.
Matt Billick.
Judy Ann Whitaker.
Karen Christine Meese.
Ernest Honesty.
William Edward Dudley, Jr.
Troy Maurice Lofton.
Jody Ann Silknitter.
Nicole Marie Lewis.
William Scott Moore.
Denise Nicole Williams.
Kristen Marie Banker.
Bernadette Gaddis.
John Howard Blomquist.
Dana Lee Washington.
Stephanie Marie Beach.
Beth Ann Corrado.
Robert Blomquist.
Donna Teresa Almeida.
Sherry Lynn DeWeese.
Robert William Ross.
Kevin Brost.
Jennifer Ann McMullen.
Hope Weber.
Heather Lynn Plyer.
Prunes Lynn Engard.
Jason Michael Vavra.
Sharon Christy Tilsner.
R. Todd Giordinelli.
Tracy Welch.
Amy Lee Derrickson.
Tracy Muzzleman.
Kathleen Francis Strong.
Dennis Michael Arcaro.
Ryan Christopher Richards.
Amy Christine Boback.
Tracy Lynn Burkheiser.
Gabriella Eva Spansfeld.
Michelina Rose Bosco.
Trisha Eileen Collins.
Karen Lynn Brown.
Christina Ann Rommel.
Teresa Lynn Haverton.
Lori Ann Rommel.
Jill Melissa Frick.
Jennifer Ann Monty.
Diana Myers.
Carolyn Walsh.
Jacqueline Gary.
Melissa Marie Cretion.
Joseph Hopkins.
Colleen Marie Kelly.
Kimberly Borzer.
Jay Gunther.
Amy Maria Nandaruja.
Colleen M. Milligan.
Danielle Renee House.
Bruce Bach.
Michelle Lee Shea.
Mimi Nguyen.
Stacy Dion Morella. Oh.
Joe Leone.
Lori Ann Evans.
Jennifer Melissa Kearns.
Sherry Klein.
Timothy Rosenberger.
Geraldine Ivanovich.
Kelly Beth Rosen.
Sean Michael Hanley.
Thomas Ralph Nagel.
Robert Lucius Gibbs Jr.
Maria Tosi.
Darren Paul Carpenter.
Victoria Alice K. Johnston.
Christopher Stephen Frederick.
Callie June Huff.
Matthew Scott Sissian.
Robin Erica Ager.
Kyle Wayne Durstein.
Virginia Ann Mitchner.
David Hunt Roberts.
Suzanne Young Schwartzer.
Albert B. Wong.
Judith Ann Van Osten.
Matthew Peter Glidden.
Juliet Charlene Van Hart.
Barbara Jill Burns.
Kevin Brent Lindsay.
Allison Gale Cannon.
Christopher K.E.V.R. Buula Locke.
Glenn Stephen Jackler.
John Patrick Lorenz.
Denise Michelle Hagee.
Anthony Civarelli.
Jerry DeMoss.
Neil Kratz.
Christina Catalin Pacos.
Patricia Barbara Abadilla.
Melanie Nelson.
Jessica Harris Troxel.
Allison April Christopa.
Roger Lee Spencer Jr.
Mark Edward Aldifer.
Arpita Rita Dar.
Edward John Bovell.
Daniel J. Broadway Jr.
Matthew Teaser.
Brian Charles Jansen.
Sheeler.
Heather Shannon Kurtz.
Kelly Lynn Miller.
Jason Wayne Davey.
Catherine Ann Scott.
Tracy Lynn Detweiler.
Brandy Lee Bannon.
Christian Alexander Hibbsman.
Valerie Jean McGuire.
Megan Christina Simpson.
Karen Louise Cook.
Frederick L. Wendler IV.
Melissa Ann Spellman.
Michelle Marie Murdoch.
Adam Andrew Doyle.
Rosetta Marie Chafalo.
J. Scott Chansey.
Jessica Marie Lease.
Ronald Kinect Jr.
Kimberly Natasha Ann Wales.
Marie Ann Tidy.
Lisa Ann Kopsky.
Susan K. Edmondson.
Kimberly Haldeman.
Julie Ann Wolf.
Amy Nicole Salduti.
Heather Lynn Young.
Nakia Marie Hale.
This is not the time, group. Thank you. Hyung D. Kim.
Charles David Fonder.
Daniel Munson Jr.
Susan Elizabeth Lane.
Suzanne Kendekian.
Jeffrey David Regent.
Helen Ann Grant.
Daniel Kenneth O'Brien.
James Dale Haas Jr.
Steve Mandy.
Jeffrey Elmer Turner.
Chong Park.
Timothy Edward Scholl.
David C. Herford.
Paul J. Hartman.
Atal Patel.
Scott Michael Radman.
Ruta Patel.
Brian Keith Reimers.
Sufang Fongsak.
Scott Wigner.
Sophia Fongsak.
James Charles Scott.
Paul Robert Wyon.
Natasha Lorraine Filthy.
Jason J. Knoll.
Chris Jinks.
Paul Stankus.
Andrea Lee Slater.
Glenn Hubler.
Griff.
Kimberly Watkins.
Anne Margaret Burbank.
John Yanish.
San Juan Doe.
Eric Matthew Dennison.
Aklavia Patel.
Shannon Marie Hazard.
Eric Odin Ashcraft.
Eric N. Bratson.
Ellen Catherine Gavigan.
Joseph Robert Dutton Jr.
Caroline Helen Small.
Lori Heather Obronsky.
Wee N. Chen.
Cheryl Renee Nissen.
Heather Jean Candy.
Evan M. Landis.
Kirsten Roshan.
Frank Richard Perlmutter.
Richard Scotchelet.
Rakesh G. Patel. We're not quite done, folks. We're not quite done.
Excuse me, but
Put
we
the
do
balls away,
have your
please.
class officers to go.
I beg your pardon. Your class officers have not received their diplomas yet.
The historian of the class of 1990, Jennifer Ann Worthington.
Corresponding Secretary for the class of 1990, Curry Shields.
Recording Secretary, class of 1990, Marie Corinne Evangelisto.
The class Treasurer for the class of 1990, Lisa Ann Hawthorne.
The Vice President of the class of 1990, Allison Lee Gurrell.
The President of the class of 1990, Susan Hartman. Thank you for your cooperation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the class of 1990.
Would the class of 1990 please stand for the turning of the tassel?